Hello, warriors. It's been a couple of weeks actually since I did a vlog, and a couple of people have been just asking me to check in. So first of all, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you all, and I just hope you've had a lovely time wherever you've been doing. I think it's been a bit tough for us all this year, actually, with everything going on with COVID, and I just think that. As a result, I just think that we've all had a bit of a tough time. I was very lucky this year. We, as a family, decided to self-isolate, so um, we could have our family bubble. Um, so I had my daughter and her partner staying with us, and my granddaughter, which was really lovely. So at least it felt like Christmas. Although this is the first day my grandbaby went today, so this is the first day me and my husband have stopped. So we watched a movie today, which was really, really nice. Um, so I hope you've had a lovely time. I know for some of you it's been really difficult. You haven't been able to see family members and grandchildren, and it's just so tough. And it's easy for me to say because I'm fortunate, but I just would like to hope that this pandemic is going to go away, and or be contained, and at least we'll get some level of normality again. So fingers crossed, peeps. Um, so check in with you on this menopause malarkey, or mad cow disease, as Mr. S calls it. Oh, it hasn't been cute, and I don't want to moan, so I'm going to start on a bit of a let's just say what's going on, and then I'm going to try and be positive. Positive vibes, positive vibes. So since I spoke to you, I had 3 periods. So I was on a period when I spoke to you, and I think I come off a period for 2 days. Then I had another period for 5, come off for 3, and I had another period for 6. So I've been off a period now for maybe 10 days, I would say. So that was really tough. Apart from the fact that the period's just awful and the pains. I have pains in the tops of my legs now, random. But I had quite a lot of migraines actually during that time. And it's bizarre because somebody said to me, how do you cope? When I was at my worst, how do you cope with all those migraines? Your body gets accustomed to it, and it sounds ridiculous, but your body gets used to having those migraines, and they don't feel as bad as they initially did. When you have a break from them and they come, it's just worse. It's bizarre actually how it takes you back there again. You go, wow. So it was a little bit tough. I'm much kinder to myself, so I stop work, I come out the office. Um, but outside, I had those 3 weeks, and outside of that, the migraines have subsided massively again. I've been obviously monitoring my treatment because this body identical treatment is just so new to me. So what I've kind of realised is that when I'm taking my Utrogestin for 12 days, that I don't really need to use a lot of the testosterone. I find that especially by about day 9 or 10, I'm so gnarly. Like you look at me the wrong way and I could eat you. It's just not cute. So I'm going to try doing that and just reduce my testosterone when I'm taking the Utrogestin. I don't really know what the hormones do. I'm not going to lie to you. I think once I get my busiest period out of the way, I might have a look and see what things do to kind of my body, because it would help. But it just feels like the right thing to do. And I'm just going to ride with it. And if it doesn't work, I can just take it as a cream. So it's quite instant. Um, so that's my path on that now. But I want to speak to you today about this anxiety. Because the truth is, where I was so poorly before with the migraines overtook everything. So the anxiety was always secondary for me. So I always suffered with it, and it was always bad. But the migraines were just so terrible and so consistent that I couldn't even see really. So it kind of overtook everything that went on with the anxiety, even though the days I didn't have my migraines, I realised the anxiety was bad. So what I'm going to say is, I would always say an empathetic person. I think I'm quite a typical Libra actually, and um, I'm a doer and I like people pleasing. But gosh, I've got a new renowned sympathy for people. It's relentless. That's all I can say. This anxiety is something that you just have to live with every single day. And it's just varying degrees of it, I think. So on a good day, I might have anxiety to level 2 or 3, which I still have it, but it's still at a 2 or 3, and that's really quite good actually. And maybe I'll only have a couple of times a day where I notice it. The other side of the coin of that is at an 8 or a 9, and it's just life debilitating, really. I've had days where I've really had to physically force myself to get into the office, and I say to you, rip the band-aid off, and I tell myself that, and I actually tell myself it's not going to beat me, because I talk to myself. If anyone listens to me, they think I was bonkers, they'd be locking me up. But I do, and I just think you're not beating me. How is something that's inside my head, which hasn't been there for probably the first 45, 6 years of my life, just like control what I do? It's just so hard actually to get my head around and to deal with. And I have to be rational with myself, but I have to be rational with myself every day. So I've said to you before, my issue is the breathing and the swallowing, and I think I can't swallow. Um, and that is terrible. I've had days where I can't even take my tablets at the end of the night before I go to bed because I have the anxiety that I can't swallow, and I really can't. And I try to relax myself and just tell myself that this is just anxiety and just you got to stop. But the more you kind of think, once you have that little tiny little nugget in your brain, it feeds and it just takes you down this road. And I tried to stop it, and I said to you before, I tried to meditate. Um, I keep busy, and it's bizarre actually because this is probably my first holidays where I've been well, as in without migraines and things, since August 2019. It's been a long time. With all the restrictions and COVID, etc. And it's been quite nice actually because I've had my daughter and partner here and the baby, and she's just like literally my ray of sunshine. But today was the first day that she went, and I didn't have to focus on looking after a 4-year-old. Um, and that is tough when you've got free time on your mind. I find for me that free time um, feeds my anxiety, so I have to keep busy. Now, I actually managed to watch a movie today. It was actually a movie I haven't seen from 2013, Catch Me If You Can. But great movie, by the way. But I watched it, and I did actually watch it without having any moments in between. But quite often, I can't even concentrate on what's going on in a film because I'll have one tiny thought in my head, or I'll go to swallow, my mouth will be dry, and then that's it. I think, oh my God. And that's where I am. The other thing I want to say as well is that my people are asking me if I've lost weight, but it's really not. It's the tension in my jaw all the time, and I'm laughing, but it's really bad. I'm grinding my teeth, and I actually ground a filling out of my tooth. I'm actually going to have a crown put in with the dentist now on the 5th of January. But the other thing I did is I got a cap here, and I know I've moved it. It's moved by about 3 millimeters, I think. That's not helping with my anxiety because I think I'm going to end up coughing in the night and choking on it. It's going to come flying out, and I'm going to be singing "All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth." But I'll get that sorted when I go to the dentist. But all of this is a result of anxiety. So I spoke to my dentist when I went a couple of weeks ago, and I'm actually asked could I have a retainer for the nights because I think that'll be good for my teeth. Because I think as we've got older, our bones and things change, and my teeth and my nails are not as good as they ever were. So any little thing helps, I think. So I'm going to have a retainer, but this is something that I never did before. And I notice that I'm tense a lot, my jaw's tense a lot, and I kind of have to wiggle it and just relax yourself. So so the anxiety is something that actually is become a part of me, and I'm just praying for all of us that when we get out of this, the other side, that it goes as quick as it comes, because it's not something that I ever want to live with. It's not something that I would ever choose, or anyone would ever choose, to kind of deal with, because it is just awful, actually. It's just an awful place to be. Um, Now, on a positive of that, I think that for myself personally, keeping busy is good for me. And because I know keeping busy is good for me, I force myself to keep busy. So even though when we're feeling really low, it's easy to kind of go, actually, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to wallow in it and let it control my mind. I'm quite headstrong. So for me, I just don't want it to beat me. And I just think this thing cannot beat me. So I have to tell myself that, and don't get me wrong, I don't focus any better. And I sometimes get in my office and I sit there for an hour and do nothing. It's just, part of my routine and part of what goes on now. Um, but I do find that once I start doing something, that takes my mind off my anxiety and I focus on that. So then I'm not anxious all day. I'm having those pockets when I have quiet time. So, I find keeping busy is really, really good for my mind. So that's one thing that absolutely can recommend to you. The other thing as well that I would say is, and I've spoken to you about this before, meditating. I listen to apps. I got apps on my phone. Um, Once it takes me a little bit to get my head from inside myself into this app. But once I'm in this app and I'm listening to it kind of makes a massive difference actually, because I do kind of calm down, calms my breathing. It just centers me a little bit and makes me feel a little bit better. And if you haven't tried that yet, please give that a go. On the flip side, if anyone can recommend anything this way, we're all in this together, warriors. So, let's just share anything that we can. Um, so I don't want to be moaning Minnie, but I mean, this ride isn't cute. It's just, as I keep saying, it's a journey that I just can't wait to just jump off the other side, actually. But I mean, we just got to ride it out. So I hope you are all keeping as well as possible, whether you're near or far, and as safe as possible with everything that's going on. Um, just remember, I know it's tough for us all to be stuck in at the moment, and it's driving me absolutely batshit crazy. I've had my son home since the 18th of March this year. My husband's a head teacher, so he's been home most of the year, been in school, just a number of weeks. So trust me, I'm going as crazy as every one of you. But I just think that, this pandemic is just scary, and we just got to get out the other side. And with this vaccine, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, people, we will get through this, and we'll be as intact as possible. So please keep safe. Um, and as I said, if you want me to talk about anything, or if you've got anything that you would wish to say to me, please shout out. You can contact me on here, on my Instagram account at The Hidden Change, or at Facebook at The Hidden Change. And I'm off for a few days now, so if anyone gets in touch, I will definitely get back in touch with you, because I'll be looking for something to do with this brain of mine to switch him off. I'm determined not to work, because really working would kind of get rid of some anxiety, but I just need a break before the craziness of January. So that's where things have changed for me. I know, even though it might drive me crazy and make me mentally not great in some ways, I know my brain needs a break from work, so I have to suck it up. So it's fine to that balance. Listen, this road is never easy, ladies. So I hope you're all keeping as well as possible, and just look after yourselves, and please keep safe. Peace out, warriors.